traders, how are you doing? This is Footy Trader from myfootballtrading.com, and I decided to record this quick video and talk about a little bit of what happened over the weekend. You can see my watch list on your screens and everything that happened over the weekend. I want to concentrate in this video on the reasons for not trading certain games on the watch list. I feel that maybe maybe it wasn't clarified and well enough. And at the same time, I think everyone should understand those reasons, because when you guys build your own watch lists, you should look out for those things, really, and make the decisions before investing. So to start with, why is it that I do not trade everything always from my watch list? There are a couple of reasons to that, and two are really the main ones. So the first main reason is that the market is a living organism, right? And the odds change. So obviously, if I prepare the watch list on Friday and I have a Saturday evening game or Sunday game, it is pretty clear that the odds will change, or may change, most likely will change. So it is important to realize and see whether this change, how it affected our evaluation, right? Let me give you an example. If I see 220 odds to lay as an opportunity, I'll give you a very concrete example. Let's take Manchester United Tottenham. Yeah. So the odds were 2.12, and I have had no hesitation of laying Manchester United at those odds. But let's say that these odds go up, right? Between Friday and Saturday, let's say they are 240 or 250. Now that changes things, right? The value that I see is decreasing, and there may not be a justification enough, right, to invest. The second reason, apart from odds changing, is the lineups. Yeah. On Friday, when I built my watch list, there is no certain information on what the starting lineup will be for any of the games, and it changes things. If you take into account a car race analogy, and for you who watch my videos, you know that I like this analogy. If you have a car race, right, you have two cars racing for a win, and before the race you get the information that, okay, but the driver will change. Now that changes things, yeah, drastically. And it's the same with the starting lineups. So let's go one by one, and from the top of my head, I will try to explain on why I decided not to trade those 4 games that I had on the watch list. The first one is Ligue 1, Rennes against Nice, and you know that Ligue 1 is the league in which I feel the least comfortable. But in this certain case, something interesting happened, and so I've added this game to the watch list, right? I wasn't agreeing that Rennes is a better team than Nice. They had the lower odds, so of course, if the odds should be higher, we lay. If the odds should be lower, we back. Yeah. So then I found out that the key player of Nice won't be available, and it is the best scorer, the guy Mofi. He's from Nigeria. He scored 6 goals, by the way, and he is the best goal scorer for Nice. So I'm using Flash Score, for the lineups information. And there was that information that Mofi won't be playing because of the national team engagement. We have currently the African Nations Cup, and seemed reasonable for me. He's from Nigeria, quite obvious. So I said that's a no trade, right? Because if the key player, their best goal scorer is missing, then it changes things. There is no value. There is no trade. What happened like 5 minutes before the game, when I clicked on the starting lineups, I saw Mofi in the starting lineup. And I was pretty much surprised. I didn't know whether that's a mistake or he's really playing, or I don't know, he went to play the African Nations Cup match and then came back quickly to France to play another game. No, but seriously, there was something wrong with this goal scorer. So I decided not to touch this game at all. Also, Nice as a car, right, as a product, as a car that is entering a race, were defeated by Le Havre and Nantes recently away. So that was adding that extra doubt. So having that all together, there could be only one decision. In the end, Rennes won 2-0, so it turned out to be a good choice. But I want to be very clear in what the reasons were. So that's Rennes against Nice. Now the second one was... bear with me for 1 second. Yeah, so the second one was Cagliari against Bologna. So that was the Sunday game, and the situation here was pretty much the same, in a sense that Bologna's top goal scorer from Netherlands, Zirkzee, who scored 7 goals, and it's a top goal scorer for Bologna, was not available because of the yellow cards. He had to pause due to the red cards. So it changes things, right? The team without the key player, you need to do a re-evaluation, and you don't really know how the team will behave without their key player. In addition to that, Cagliari is a team that before yesterday, they were undefeated in 5 consecutive home games. So there was that morale boost that I could see from Cagliari at home. And so, with that and without the key player from Bologna, that was a no trade for me. In the end, Cagliari won 2-1. So again, it turned out to be a good decision. But again, the key factor was just a top goal scorer missing. So that's that. The third one, Cadiz against Valencia. Now here I was really hesitating, and because I wanted to enter this game laying Cadiz, obviously, because I thought that the odds for Cadiz should be higher. Now that would mean, so before the game, I saw that the odds. Don't want to lie to you, so let me just quickly bring up the odds. Cadiz, So it would have been a lay at 330 odds, So 330 is... so the risk to reward ratio is not that great if you lay at 330. So I was really hesitating whether there really is a value in laying Cadiz at 330. But there was another option. I could, instead of laying Cadiz, I could have laid Valencia. I could have backed Valencia. Yeah, why backed? Obviously, because I thought that Valencia odds should be lower, so I wanted to back Valencia, and I think 290 was available in the market to back Valencia. Now these were great odds, really, and I was very close to do that, to back Valencia at 2.9. However, backing means that, you know, Valencia has to win, and when I looked at the Cadiz results, they lost to Real Madrid, but apart from that, they stopped Real Sociedad 0-0. They stopped Osasuna 1-1. They stopped Sevilla 2-2. They lost with Girona, but only 1-0. So, and Valencia, okay, we will agree that Valencia is slightly underperforming. So here, I should have probably go ahead with that because 290 was good odds. I didn't do it. I just decided to let this go, as I didn't really know how this will turn up. Valencia, okay. There was one other factor. Okay, Valencia defeated Vallecano 1-0 in an away game, but before that, they lost to Real Madrid, they lost to Girona, and they lost to Getafe. And Cadiz were able to stop Real Sociedad, who, in terms of away games, is very similar to Valencia. So there was not enough factors for me that would justify this investment. So I decided not to go ahead. In the end, Valencia won 4-1. So that if I backed Valencia at 290, I would have a very nice profit. But it's okay. You know, you never know what the result will be. You need to remember that you are making the decision without knowing the result. And it often happens that people say, hey, you see, this team won or this team lost, so you made a good decision or bad decision. That doesn't make sense because they forget that the moment of time in which you are making the decision was completely different, right? You didn't have this key information about the final result, obviously. So you're making the decision in completely different circumstances. So that's Cadiz against Valencia. And the last one was Fiorentina against Udinese. So when I was building my watch list on Friday, I remember saying that Fiorentina odds should be that they should be a little bit lower. Maybe they're a bit too high. In the end, I decided not to back them at 1.7-ish, I think. I'll just see what the Betfair odds were. 168, okay, just before the game started, it was 168, and it was 640 for Udinese, yeah. So if you look at that, 168 and 640, yeah, it is telling us that Fiorentina is 3 times 0.81, so almost 4 times better than Udinese. So think about that for a second. So Fiorentina 4th in the table, Udinese 16th. I thought about the probabilities, yeah, and the times this team is better. And yeah, I thought that, okay, Fiorentina is probably 4 times, almost 4 times better than Udinese in current form. So 168 to back didn't feel in the end as a good option. So I decided not to trade it. Yeah. In the end, by the way, the game ended 2-2. Udinese took the lead, then Fiorentina equalized, then Udinese took the lead again, and in 87th minute Fiorentina made it 2-2. Yeah. So yeah, that's it really. This is what I wanted to cover in this video. So always remember, putting together your watch list before the weekend doesn't mean that you will invest in all of the games, right? Because there are some unknown factors at the point in which you're creating your watch list that are revealed later. And always consider those factors, and always before clicking and entering the market, think about it, right? And think whether it's really worth it, whether there is a value in entering the market. With that, thank you very much, guys, and thank you for all your comments, all your likes, and all your feedback that you shared on Twitter. It's really amazing. Yesterday, I've shared the summary of my results. I was sharing some screenshots from the betting exchange. Really, thank you very much for all your involvement, for all your support. It's really great. And yes, most likely we'll hear each other on Friday when we will be building another trading watch list. So, thank you very much, and bye-bye.